Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Trainers at a Table Talking. Today I sat down with Katy Jones of Katy Jones Fitness. Now if you live in San Antonio, you've probably seen her. She's a very popular personal trainer and fitness model in this area, but you might not know her backstory. She's overcome a lot. We talk about overcoming low self-esteem, learning to see the value in the obstacles that are in front of you and learning to overcome them, the value of support systems and learning to pay that support forward. This was a great interview, so I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Let's jump right in. So let's start with an introduction.
Okay, I'm Katy
Cool.
Jones. I'm 25. I've been in the fitness industry for 8 years. I've been training for 2 years.
Cool.
I'm an athlete. I've always been an athlete. I was a gymnast when I was younger, track, basketball, baseball, all kinds of sports. What else? I'm not that interesting.
Many people disagree. People have been asking me to interview you. So
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy.
So what got you into fitness? What got you started in fitness 8 years ago?
I was out of high school and I decided not to follow my soccer career. I actually ended up not going to college for it. So I had taken some time off. I had so many injuries that I just finally was like, I need to take a step back and recover some and then go from there. So I was working full time. I was actually waiting tables at 2 different restaurants at the time. So I was working 100 hours a week and I said, okay, I need some kind of stress relief. So I started going to the gym and then I started lifting. Originally when I was going, I was kind of just doing, the cardio thing, cardio bunnies, whatever. And I was like, this is really boring. So I actually started to lift, kind of picked it up on my own, and then it kind of just snowballed from there. I got really into it, so I was going every day. And then after that, I was really into rock climbing. I went to Lifetime.
Nice.
Just for that feature. It was 24 hours. It worked with my schedules. I was getting off at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, so I was going to the gym and working out, or midday workouts, those kinds of things. So that's actually how I got into it. And then a couple years back, I was approached by a trainer at Lifetime, Anthony, and
that guy.
Yeah, that bearded man. And I was asked about if I had ever thought about doing competition, and I had, but I was, in a weird place in life, and I was like, man, I'm so broke, like I can't pay you. And he was nice enough to say, hey, if you really want to do it, I think you have the potential to do good things in this industry if you want to kind of dive into it. I'll help you, I'll train you, if you're really into it, those kinds of things. So there was never any I need recognition. So that really sparked my interest as far as, eventually stepping into that trainer aspect, because I had so many people when I was training for my show reach out to me about, hey, what do I need to do for this? And it was really inspiring that people were approaching me for help. And just the way that, all the trainers there actually helped me as well. So I've always wanted to help people. I've kind of never really set a certain path into like a career path. Hey, I want to be a nurse, those kinds of things. So the opportunity came up to where it was like, I get to help people feel better about themselves, achieve goals, and I also still get to do something that I thoroughly enjoy doing every day, going to the gym. So that's actually how I decided to step into that trainer role and kind of go from there and expand on that and start Katy Jones Fitness.
Awesome. Cool. So how would you describe just the culture of Katy Jones Fitness? Who's it for?
I originally started it, and it sounds kind of selfish, for myself. I had always had self-esteem issues, so it was kind of my way. Yeah, I know that probably sounds really weird. It was kind of my way of backing myself. If I can feel good about myself, why can't I make other people feel good about themselves? So it was kind of a selfish way that I started it, and then it was more of, I want to help every kind of person. There shouldn't be a cap on people. Certain trainers have specialties in training, those kinds of things, but a lot of them too will actually, not take on certain clients because it's challenging, or, it's not worth it for their time, or the money doesn't really add up, kind of that thing. For me, it was more of, I want people to feel they can come to me with any kind of issue that they have, any kind of walk of life. If you're 80 years old, if you have children who need training for sports, if you just want to feel better about yourself, weight loss, or if you want to train for a show or a photo shoot. So my goal is for Katy Jones Fitness is to grow a brand that helps everybody and then kind of goes further than that. So I eventually want to dive into actually pairing up with animal shelters for it to create a fitness industry where my clients can come out on the weekends and we do kind of like workout, help out in a sense, but we go out and we help animals, we take them on walks, we do exercise, and we donate back to them. So it kind of goes hand in hand so that, you know, animals who don't necessarily get to have people come and walk them, you know, we're out there, hey, we're still getting a workout, but we're feeling better because we're helping the community and we're helping these animals. So that's eventually awesome. Part of it.
Very cool. Awesome. Got next step plans. I like it. Awesome.
Trying.
How would you define health and fitness?
Health and fitness for me is being able to wake up every day, not having any kind of issues, feeling good about yourself, doing the right things to prevent any kind of diseases or, you know, just not feeling good or healthy, making right choices, you know, not going out and drinking every day. Hey, people do it, let's be honest, you know, It's fun every once in a while. But fitness can be anything from, you know, backyard workouts, in-home workouts, working out with your kids, going to the park like we are right now. It doesn't have to be at a gym, and I think a lot of people forget that. So I think for me, health and fitness is, you know, going out and waking up every day, feeling good about yourself, feeling healthy, and doing the right things to stay that way versus, you know, making those bad choices of, hey, I'm going to eat, you know, 25 nuggets today, and then I'm gonna go have a Big Mac later, and then I'm gonna go to Whataburger. So that is for me what health and fitness is, you know, waking up, doing outdoor activities, taking care of your body in whatever way you need to. So
you're really kind of like the fitness anywhere mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is actually going to be part of some of my upcoming stuff, because I promised everyone I would make videos and YouTube videos. But a lot of the things that I've done too on Daytime at 9 have actually been at-home workouts that anybody can do, just because I feel a lot of the times people forget, you know, everybody's not at the same level of fitness. So you have to be able to, you know, take something that everyone can do, and doing it at home is like the easiest thing because there is no excuse as to why you couldn't do it. Like I feel a lot of people, oh, well, you know, I couldn't make it to the gym today because traffic, or I couldn't, you know, wake up on time to make it to the gym. So if you wake up 15 minutes early before you go to work, hey, why not do an at-home towel workout? Or why not do, you know, a chair workout or something like that? So anybody can do it anywhere.
Cool. Good to go. I like it. So are there, is there a definitive statement or mission or anything you have that kind of guides you in life or business or both?
For me, so I actually have a tattoo quote on my arm. It says, I admire work, dedication, and competence. It's actually by a Formula One driver.
Nice. And
there was a documentary that he made, which kind of inspired me later on, and to kind of just let things flow. So not admiring certain people, not having, you know, idols, things like that, has really kind of driven me in the sense of you have to put your mindset to it, and if you do, then you're going to achieve it. You know, you go through life every day and it's like you're going to have obstacles, you're going to have down days, but what's your positive spin on it? You know, how are you going to make it a good thing? Like, how are you going to learn from it? I've had so many obstacles happen that it's just kind of been like, I go every day to day. Like, that's probably my biggest motto. Like, every day is my last day. And that sounds really cliche, but it's really true.
Yeah.
In that sense. So for me, it's kind of, you know, just let it be, you know, don't idle anybody, you know, idle yourself in a sense, you know, put yourself first, make yourself worth it, because then you're going to see the results. And while it sounds selfish, you know, the most selfless people are actually the most selfish people, in the sense of, you know, hey, I'm doing this to better other people, but it's really for my benefit.
Well, yeah, I think everybody is selfish in one way or another, you know, but it's, there's inward selfishness and there's outward selfishness. You know what I mean? So it's you have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay. Thanks.
No worries. All right. Are there any little known facts about you that might surprise? I mean, I didn't know you were, I guess, a Formula One fan. If you have a
yes, I am. I'm a hardcore car person.
Okay.
I'm a car junkie for sure. I actually grew up around the car industry. My dad was in the car business. So I've always been super into cars. I'm actually going to be out at Nismo Fiesta as one of their promotional people this year, I guess you would say. They're letting me do a booth so people can come out and do a meet and greet. I actually found out last year that I have kind of like a following in the car club, which I had no idea. So I've just always enjoyed that. It's kind of like a weird break because a lot of people are like, what? Like, you actually enjoy this? I'm like, yeah, I love it. It's great. Like, one of my other endeavors later on in life is to either have, a body shop or building race cars. So I will eventually be doing that, and then driving them, because that's, the ultimate goal.
My first job was in my dad's friend's body shop.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. See? So people are always like, what? That's super weird. I guess that would be one of the facts. I mean, I'm super into art. A lot of people don't know that either. I'm really artsy. I actually do a lot of painting. For a while, I was really into photography, but I keep that hidden. I don't really post any of that. Other than that, I mean, my dad passed away when I was 18, so that kind of actually was the start of a lot of it for me in the fitness industry. He was a WMT that was diagnosed as a diabetic too late. So he had a lot of other health issues, and it started from a simple hernia surgery and then kind of escalated. But he was like the advocate for terrible healthcare. He was in the car industry, all of them smoke all the time. They eat terrible food because they're there for long hours. So that kind of was a big thing for me because, at the age of 18, I was like, what could he have done that could have actually prolonged this, aside from, it was a bad diagnosis, they kind of messed up on their end, but, what were the other steps that he could have done to make it better? And then kind of just seeing what amputees have to go through as far as a recovery process and how much of a mental game it is for them.
Yeah.
That was kind of a really big thing for me as well. So then, with a lot of clients, it's more mental, like we had kind of talked about earlier, than it is a physical challenge. So how can I relate to them to be able to give them enough motivation to mentally get through everything, to overcome those hurdles? So that's maybe a fact that people don't really know.
Cool. Awesome. I mean, and I would agree with you that, one thing I always try to keep in mind is everybody's got something they're struggling through. Everybody's got something they're trying to overcome, and if somebody's in the gym, especially if they're looking for help in fitness and in their path, if you can help them overcome that, it flows into so many. Once they learn they can achieve here, it flows into so many other aspects of their life.
Endless.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Biggest obstacle you've had, and how did you overcome it?
In the fitness industry or in life?
Whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
God. I think I moved out when I was 19, and it was a personal choice. I think one of the biggest things was I remember I was so broke. I couldn't even afford to eat anything, so I had a manager. And I think at that point I really started to evaluate my life, and I was like, what am I doing? What do I need to do? And it kind of downward spiraled first, and I was like, okay, I'm lost. I'm so lost. What do I do? And I actually reached out to my brother, and my brother had gone through, a lot of things. He's older than me, and he was kind of you just gotta pick yourself up. He was like, we've been through so much stuff as a family with, my dad, and then, other family members, and he was like, we kind of got the backwards turn of life. We started out good, and then we went the opposite way. And it's funny because we always joke about saying, keeping up with the Joneses, and that really applies to us. So I think for me, that was probably one of the hardest things, to really just look at myself and see all of my peers that I went to school with and think, God, they're all going to college, and I can't afford to go to college. And, I'm not doing anything meaningful. I'm waiting tables. I'm sure the people really appreciate me waiting on them, but it was what is this giving me, aside from I can pay my bills, but I can't afford to eat, I can't afford to do these things. So I kind of just got really down on myself. So I think overcoming the obstacle of putting myself down, that's probably been one of my hardest things to do. I'm always really negative on myself, and like I said, I had really bad self-esteem, so I never thought I was gonna amount to anything. So I think that's been my biggest obstacle. But having my brother there talk to me about it, it was kind of okay, you know what? I can do this. And he's not just saying it because he's my brother. He's probably one of my harshest critics. So he's like, hey man, like you can do this. Like, you know, but you have to take the steps. So for me, it was just kind of like, okay, what's my next move? Like, what do I do from here? So I think that's been one of the biggest things for me, is just really being positive about myself and believing in myself, and then kind of going from there.
Yeah. I don't know, speaking from my personal experience, I mean, I guess it was kind of similar at your age, but when you know, the path that you went, you said all your friends were into college and all that, and I think the path that you went over the long term, it just pays so many more dividends, because when it's, you know, you've got support, but you know, when it's pretty much just you and you've got to figure out how to get things done, like that helps you develop tools and skills that you're only going to get better at as you go, and when you find those at such a young age, that's the stuff you can't teach. You know, you've got to learn that on your own.
Looking back, I'm like, you know what? I appreciate the fact that I was so broke at one point, because God, I don't know what kind of person I would be if I had never experienced that.
Yeah.
At the time, you're like, God, this is terrible.
But it makes for great stories. Let's talk about your greatest successes, or maybe the things you're most proud of.
Okay. I think some of my greatest success moments, we'll consider them success moments. I've had, you know, stepping out into owning my own business at 25, or starting to own my own business, was a huge thing for me. You know, it was really nerve-wracking to be like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to take it on at the age of 25, and it could either go really well or it could go really bad. So far, it's gotten pretty good. I've had a lot of support. Like, I from modeling to training to just training personally with the people that have helped me. I've had a huge support system, so I think that's been like probably also one of my greatest successes. Like I've never really had any negative feedback, and like I say that like knocking on wood, because I feel like a lot of people get judged. I think I have one client in particular who shows up, she's so dedicated. I mean, some days I'll train her at 3:00 in the morning because, you know, it works with her schedule.
Wow.
And I know she's going to be there, and I know she's going to put it in 110%. And I leave there inspired. Like, it's not even the other way around. Like, I'm like, God, you are just killing it in the gym. Like, I got to go do great things in life.
Yeah.
She's lost over 100 pounds. And she's
nice.
Yeah, and she did a lot on her own, and then she reached out to me because she was like, hey, you know, I've lost a lot of weight, but I want to take it up a notch, you know, and I think you're that person. And ironically enough, she was actually my first boss that I ever worked for. I worked at Whataburger, and she was my GM, so it was crazy to kind of come back in a circle to where it was like, hey, I need you to help me now. I helped you in the work industry. I helped build your mindset for, you know, how to make this business grow for your success. And what can you do for me? And she's also been a huge advocate as far as my modeling has gone. But I've been lucky and successful enough that people actually reached out to me, and they've guided me. They've, you know, taught me, hey, you know, this is going to be better for your look. This is what we'll do. This is, you know, my idea. Come out, you know, and I'll cover everything. Like, you know, we're going to do a trade-off. Hey, just give me recognition, which I love doing, because it's like, hey, local business, small people, like everybody's that has helped me, I want to help them back. So I think it's been like an amazing, I guess, success in that sense, that somebody and enough people have been like, hey, I want to help you. Like, I want to see you grow, that I don't even know how to respond to it yet. Like, I just can only say thank you, because that's all that I know. Like, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like, all the time. Like, thank you so much. Like, what do I owe you? And they're like, nothing. Like, I just want to see you like make yourself successful. So I think those two things have been like huge successes for me at this point in my life.
Well, I think, you know, your work ethic comes through in everything you do, in the you know, the videos, the highlighting of your clients, all that stuff, and that's stuff people notice. So
I appreciate
it. No problem.
Thank you.
So let's get into the exercise side a little bit. What are your top 1 to 3 favorite exercises, and why?
Okay, personally, I love deadlifting. I don't know why. Well, I do. It's total body, posterior exchange, like, you know, backside. I'm always trying to build a bigger butt, you know, that's like one thing, build the bigger glutes. But I think just the feeling of being able to take something that is, more than your body weight and picking it up off the ground plus your body weight, because you're moving your body weight and then you're moving the weight. It's just a strength.
So you like to pick up heavy things and put them down?
Yeah, I like to lift heavy things and put them down.
Yep.
Pick them up and put them down. Right now I'm super into power cleans. So I'm kind of diving into, more like the Olympic lifting right now. I was like, I know. That's my next endeavor. A month of hardcore Olympic lifting movements to see where I can bring it in. And then, honestly, right now I can't do them anymore because I haven't done them, but pull-ups. Like, I was a gymnast, so as far as...
Really?
Yeah, so as far as body weight movement, like being able to move your entire body with your upper body and your lats and your back is just huge, because the core engagement, everything that you use in order to get yourself to go up to the bar, chest to bar, even like for me, muscle ups, they represent so much of how you actually mount the bar in gymnastics. It was kind of a cool concept to see that really like flow into some of the CrossFit movements. So I was like, wow, okay. So those are probably my top 3 favorite exercises currently.
Cool.
Those change on a daily basis.
Yeah, I can relate. Yeah. All right. What are your 2 to 5 daily healthy habits? Things that you think most people should try to incorporate?
Drinking enough water. That is definitely like the biggest one.
There you go.
Yes, which I don't have any. I'm a horrible advocate for that in this moment. Staying hydrated, especially living in Texas in the summertime, people don't realize how much being hydrated actually benefits you. Eating breakfast. I can't not eat breakfast. So people who don't eat that, it just makes me sad. I just want you to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Starting your day off with that, just because, boosting the metabolism, getting everything going. Another huge thing for me is taking a multivitamin. I will tell everybody that they need to take one. My 6-year-old stepdaughter takes a multivitamin. It just plugs all the holes. Every day we wake up and maybe we didn't sleep good, or our stress factor is different, or we're lacking, vitamin K. So it kind of just fills the gaps, because a lot of people are like, why do I need that? Like, it's useless, And so, it's kind of like plugging the holes in your ship that's sinking. You're surviving. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I personally every day make sure that I eat a lot, because I'm just a hungry person all the time. For me, not making sure that I eat enough carbs, because I'm such a high carb diet. So people who need help with that, seek out the help so that you can figure out the best nutrition for you for what you're doing. And then taking at least 10 to 15 minutes a day to de-stress. That's probably been one of my biggest things.
So what do you do there?
So it really depends on the day. I don't do the same thing every day. Some days, like this last month, I started doing a foam rolling challenge. So for me, I've been doing it before I go to bed. So I'll watch like an episode of something on TV and I'll foam roll. So for me, that's de-stressing, because I'm not thinking about everything that happened that day. Some days I'll wake up and I'll take 10 to 15 minutes and I'll just go outside and I'll just sit there and I'll think about, okay, all the things I want to accomplish today and what I'm going to accomplish, or reflect on the night before and be like, you know what, okay, I was upset about this, or I was really happy about this, let's move forward. So it's kind of different every day. And then, like I mentioned before, I do painting. So arts and crafts for me is actually one of my de-stressors. So creating things, not thinking about other things, but using that mental to kind of just be like, hey, this is awesome. I'm over whatever happened.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. I love it. So on the other side of that, what are your biggest vices? Confession time.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Everybody's got them.
Give me one of yours, and then I'll come up with some.
All right. You know what? And this was a common one. I think 2 or 3 other people that I've interviewed have brought this one up. Oreos.
Really?
Yeah. If
just can't handle it.
If they're around, I can't have them in the house. If they're in the house, it's by default it's a cheat day, because I'm going to eat all of them.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. Okay, this is gonna be so bad. Fast food.
Fast food?
I am the biggest fast food junkie there is, and people like don't believe me. Like they don't believe how bad my eating habits.
How long did you work
used to be.
for Whataburger?
I worked there for 2.5 years.
Okay, so
and then
that
I've
can do it
always
to you.
been in the food industry. So
Yeah.
I spent like a good 7 years in the food industry. So food.
Okay, all right. What's your go-to fast food meals?
Whataburger, because I worked there.
Yeah.
Triple meat, triple cheese.
And you, wow. And you were born and raised in Texas too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
there you go. It's in your blood almost.
Yeah, you know, God, tacos. Bean and cheese tacos used to be real bad, like real bad. Like I would have bean and cheese tacos for breakfast every day. And I used to be really bad with cereal and chocolate milk. You know, sugar and sugar.
Yeah, cinnamon life is life. Yeah,
Oh, God,
I can
it's
relate to you there.
So bad. So fast food and like junk food.
Okay, all right. Okay, cool. That's not that bad. I've definitely, especially in trainers, I've definitely heard worse. So,
Yeah.
all right. Fitness and or personal hero.
So I just started following Derek Wida, I believe is his last name.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
That guy's amazing.
yeah, he's right now probably like my fitness like hero. Like he just posted a video. He was doing one of the WODs for the Open
Where he dropped the bar.
where he dropped the bar in his
Yeah.
leg, and I was just like, man, this is like epic. Like it sounds terrible saying that, but it was just like real life. Like
He got right back
yeah,
up.
like oh my God, like you saw his wife freak out in the video, but it was like cool. I'm getting back up and I'm going, and his whole account on Instagram is just really inspiring in the sense of, you know, there was a post a while back of him in the hospital, and his wife actually made the post and said, hey, I just want you guys to know Derek checked himself in tonight because he's been dealing with like PTSD and suicidal thoughts. And so it was really inspiring to see that he's open enough about all of that, you know, hey, I'm not superhuman, like I've had obstacles to overcome, you guys do too, but together, you know, like we're all gonna do it. So I think right now in the fitness industry, definitely him. Ashley Horner as well, she's also an athlete. She is a rock tape athlete. She does CrossFit, but she's just I think she's military, or she was military, and she does a lot of fundraisers. So she's kind of like an all-around fitness guru. Like she does every kind of thing that you can do. Right now she's getting ready to do a run in Haiti, and it's like a 200-mile run or something. So it's going to be like, she's done it before, and all the money that is raised for it, she actually donates back to children in need. She's got a couple foundations. She actually is also an owner of a coffee and like whiskey shop that she started. So she's,
that sounds like my type of
yeah,
place.
so she's just like, she's inspiring in the sense of like, she's doing all the things that I want to kind of do or ever like decide to do. It's like she's the all-around athlete. You know, I'm going to take on every challenge. I'm going to do CrossFit, I'm going to do regular lifting, I'm going to be a fitness model, and I'm also going to do these things to raise money, you know, to help people in need. She did a rowing competition a while back as well, where she did so many meters, and for the entire time that she was rowing, people could donate money, and then she donated that back to the military.
Oh, wow. Ashley Horner.
Yeah, so
I'll look her up. I've never
so both of them, fitness industry. Personally, I would probably have to say my mom. Okay. Just because my mom has kind of been like my mom and my dad. She's always been the person to, you know, take me to all my sports related things. She was my coach when I was 4, you know, for all my CYO sports. So she started me in the fitness industry. But she's also overcome a lot. You know, she worked full time, took care of my dad when he was sick, and still took care of 2 kids. And I look back and I'm like, how did you go to bed at like midnight and wake up at 4 every day, and then spend half your day at the hospital and half your day taking care of the kids and still going to work? So she just amazes me in the sense of like, there is no like off button for her. And I'm like, God, I just hope one day I can be at that level where it's like go, 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 no matter what, and always take care of business.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. I like it. So, you actually answered a couple of the questions there.
Sorry,
Good stuff.
skipping
No,
ahead.
that's fine. Yeah. In your opinion, what makes a good trainer or coach?
I think somebody who is passionate about it and isn't really in for it for the money. Like, they're in for it to get the person to where they want to be. I think in the fitness industry, it's kind of like been corrupted by those, trainers or coaches that are really just, hey, I'm sending the same program to everybody, or, I'm training everybody the same way. They're not in it for the right reasons. So I think finding a trainer or a coach who really takes the extra step and is like, hey, I think this would really benefit you, or hey, let's do this, don't worry about it, like, I want to see you succeed, is somebody who is really the person you want to be with. Like, they're passionate about it, they care about you as an individual, not so much as a client. You're somebody who they want to see succeed. So I think that really makes you a good trainer or coach.
Okay.
And having good knowledge.
Yeah. What about if someone's looking for a gym, if they're looking for whatever type of
place to go?
Yeah.
Like recommending one to them?
Well, what if somebody's watching this and they're not in San Antonio? Like, what are you think some traits they should look for when they go into a gym?
I think depending on your schedule and your work life really kind of dictates the gym that you should go to be honest. Also asking yourself, kind of writing them down, like, what are your goals? Like, what are your fitness goals, and what kind of workouts do you think would get you to those goals? Because, we have CrossFit boxes, we have, just boxing gyms, we have all kinds of gyms, or corporate gyms, Lifetime Fitness, Gold's Gym. Then you have like mom and pop places or smaller gyms like 24-hour fitness gyms, things like that. I think if you work crazy hours, getting a membership at a 24-hour club of some sort would benefit you better than somewhere where they have, we open at 5 and we close at 9 or something like that, because that gives you excuses as to not to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Another factor is, when you go in and you do like a walkthrough or you want to tour the gym, are they trying to sell you on a lot of things, or are they really there asking you like, hey, what are your fitness goals? I think that kind of dictates too really how that gym's gonna.
Are they like,
help
selling
you?
it, or are they trying to find out about you and if you're the right fit? Yeah.
So I think that's a huge factor. And always go with like your gut instinct. Like, if you walk in and you're like, this is not for me, like the people here are not for me, don't be a member there just because other people are. Like, go somewhere where you're going to be comfortable, you're going to do your workouts, you don't feel like people are judging you, and there's people there that if you needed help, like trainers or just members, you could ask them, and it wouldn't be one of those like, well, why can't you find it yourself things, or, oh, do you want to buy a package? You know what I mean? Like a training package. It would be like, hey, let me help you with your squat form, and then they would leave, because it's like, I don't want you to get injured, I want you to do these squats right. So that would be like some of my feedback.
Cool. All right. We kind of already covered this, but maybe there's more to it. But an inspirational client. We talked about when we talked about greatest successes. You went into a lot of your clients there, but do you have like a client? It could be a past one or a current one that kind of inspires you, and you're like, yeah.
I think it's my current one that I kind of touched on before. She's had so many health issues too, so that's probably what's been most inspiring to me. She actually had a brain tumor a few years back. She kind of like went off the beaten path. She gained a lot of weight, and she also used to smoke. And she decided after that, she was like, I need to make some life changes. Her mother also had some health-related issues and passed away, so that really kind of sparked her interest as well. She actually this past year had Achilles surgery and was back in 12 weeks in the gym. She was still working out upper body while recovering. She didn't want to give it up. So I think seeing somebody who's just had so many like health issues and still like persevere through the entire thing has been like super inspiring, because it's like, oh, my ankle hurts today, I should still go to the gym. Like, she was at home in bed in like a walking boot, like, hey,
still getting it done,
still doing arms, like still getting it done. So I think she's a huge inspiration to me. I mean, all of my clients are in their own ways. Like, that's the thing, is like they all impact me in a different way and in good ways, because they've reached out to me, so it's like that's amazing. Like, just like, okay, great. Like, thanks for thinking that. I'm inspiring and motivational. So that to me is probably one of the biggest things, is that they all bring their own set of like unique things to the table.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. I mean, I agree. I think what you're talking about, like all of my clients are inspired. Yeah. I mean, if they're not, then they're not going to be a client of mine. You know,
Exactly.
I can't. Yeah. They've got to bring their A game, and I'm going to bring mine.
Exactly.
And that's where the magic happens.
Exactly.
All right. Is there a question or request that you love getting from clients, or just people in fitness in general?
It's not one that I love getting, but it always makes me laugh. Everybody always asks me if I do CrossFit because the way that I look. And I don't. And it's funny because then I tell them, no, I'm a personal trainer. And their like response to that is just like, really? Like, you can be a personal trainer and look that way and not do CrossFit? Because I'm a female. So I think it's just entertaining, to say the least. So it's kind of one of my favorite questions lately, because I'm like, I'll be out and they're like, do you do CrossFit? I'm like, no, I'm so sorry.
The one way to ensure you'll get asked that question is put some rock tape on.
Yeah, I definitely should.
If you have tape on your arm,
I should, right?
I'll go in the grocery store if I have any tape on. Do you do CrossFit?
Oh God, it's amazing. Yes, no, I just bought this tape. It was on sale. So that's probably one of my favorite ones currently.
Cool. All right. Any other ones?
God, I have to think for a second. Can you repeat the question again?
Just a question or request. If there's a client request that you love getting or you get a lot.
Sometimes my clients want to see me work out just to see that I'm suffering the same way that they do. Like, they'll ask me during a workout, like, do you do this? And I always look at them and I'm like, I would never make you do something that I have not done myself.
Yeah.
So I think in the moment of when they feel like they're like, God, this is the worst and I'm dying and I hate you so much and I want to tell you how much I hate you, but I'll love you later for it. The question of, do you do this, is probably one of the best ones too. Like I'm just, making them do it for pleasure, and I never do those things.
Yeah, I was working out with a buddy in Dallas a couple months ago, and he wanted to Facebook Live the workout, so we did, and the number one comment I got was just the clients were like, it was great to see you suffer, because he was calling me out on movements, They love it. It's like they want to see like you suffering just like they do, to make sure you're like a real person or something. Like, yes, I promise. I sweat and I hate it. Yep, I still do it.
I still do it.
If there's someone, or what advice or request would you have for someone who's nervous or intimidated to enter a gym because they feel like they're less fit than everybody else?
Just go inside. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but taking those steps, every step closer to going inside and just taking, the challenge, is one step closer to you not being nervous about it. If you really don't want to go by yourself, bring a friend. Like, everybody always feels better when there's somebody with them. It's, the buddy system. Like, it sounds crazy, because it takes a lot of the focus off of all those questions, like, are people watching me? Like, am I doing this wrong? Am I doing it right? I feel like a lot of times people hold themselves back because they worry too much about how they look when they're actually at the gym versus going to the gym and doing what they meant to go do. I had a client who was like, I want to do outdoor workouts because I don't feel comfortable going to the gym. I feel like people are watching me. And I'm like, girl, put your headphones on. I was like, people don't care what you're doing. Like, just go inside. Like, and she actually texted me and was like, I realized today that, people really aren't watching me. Like, they're there doing their thing, or they're watching themselves in the mirror, doing weird selfies and whatever. And she was like, thanks for telling me to just, try it, go inside. The best advice that I've ever gotten was just try it, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if you don't try it, you'll never know, and you'll always question it. And that's worse than actually going inside and be like, nope, this isn't for me. So just taking the step to trying it is probably the best advice I could give.
Okay, good.
Or if you need me to go with you, I'll definitely go with you. Just let me know.
I love it, though. I mean, it's in that question, every time I've asked somebody that question, it always comes down to something simple like that.
Yeah.
Like, just walk in the door.
Yeah.
And there's the old saying that the heaviest weight in the gym is the front door.
Yeah.
But once you get past that, they're all easier.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. That's all the questions I got for you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I think that's it. All
Okay.
your questions were good.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So then let's, if somebody is in San Antonio and they want to check you out, they want to
Yes.
get involved, do some training, or get some questions for you, how would they get in contact with you?
So they can contact me on Facebook. They can contact me through Instagram, and I also do have my website up. They would just need to email me. So all that information is on my Facebook, on my Instagram, and also on my website. It's www.katyjonesfitness.com because it's simple that way.
Yep.
And then they can just reach out. If not, I'm at Evolution Gym off 1604 in Braun, and they're always more than welcome to come to the gym. I'm there Monday through Saturday, so they can do that as well.
Cool.
So any kind of social media, pretty much, they can get a hold of me.
And I'll put all those links at the
Awesome.
bottom there. Awesome.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Katy, thank you very much for meeting me today.